Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How is everybody? Good. All right, well, welcome. Thank you for your time this morning, and welcome to our Coffee Chats, of course. Today is September 19th, 2023, and I will just let you know what's going on for the week and some ideas that I have actually for November. So I'll move on and start with today. So today, on the 19th, we have at 10 a.m. in Marion Hall, we have Steve and Barb Pye. And I kind of stole them from Hopkins Community Center. They're a wonderful team.
Minnetonka Community Center.
Oh, Minnetonka Community Center, thank you. Roger's good friends with them. But I've heard only positive things about them. And today their discussion is on Iceland. So John and Steve will be talking, they're known for their travelogues. Learn how Icelanders name their children, drive on the narrow bridges, enjoy the fruits of the sea, and harvest the heat from the earth to produce clean energy. Hikes and waterfalls, glaciers, and cultures will be explored in this presentation. So if you have time, please join Steve and Barb for their travelogue at 10 a.m. in Marion Hall. And also today at 1 p.m. is Abby Key will be here, and she is our tech guru, and her tech classes are printing. So you will actually go to the West Library at 1 p.m. today if you have signed up for that, just FYI, and she will discuss printing and how to print documents. They will include printing from our computer in the library, so if you ever wanted to go in there and print something, she's going to show you how to do that. Also, she will show you how to use print from your phone. If you have been curious about that, please, there is still room. There's up to 20 people allowed in that class, so there's still some room for that if you're interested in learning about printing. 1 p.m. in the West Library. Also today is our birthday celebration for this month of September, and it's a little bit different with timing. So just so you know, normally it starts at 3 o'clock. Our entertainment couldn't be here. He's a busy man, and he could not be here until 4. So therefore, the appetizers and wine and the social gathering that always precedes the entertainment starts at 3:30 today. So just so you're aware of that, as opposed to 3 o'clock, it starts at 3:30, and that's in the East Lounge area, lobby, pardon me, the East lobby, and that's at 3:30. So if you show up, I'll still be setting up. So, and then of course at 5 p.m. is our birthday meal, and let's see, I'll move on to Wednesday. So Mary's Medical Research Marketplace is always, I think it's about the third Wednesday every month, depending on holidays, etc. So that her research marketplace is this Wednesday from 11 to 1, and it's in front of the trading post. And it's handcraft goods and other items for us to sell to help save lives here and around the world. And so please help support that this Wednesday from 11 to 1. I will move on to what else is going on for this Wednesday. Of course, at 1 p.m. is our TED Talks. And the 3 topics are the renewable energy, Detroit's climate crisis, and how to build a resilient future everywhere, what's happening what's happening to the Earth's core. So those are the 3 topics on 991. And then on Wednesday at 1:30, we have our 500. And this Wednesday is our alterations from 3 to 4. And I was taking a peek at that. It looks like it is kind of filling up. So if you do have alterations that you would like to get done this Wednesday, make sure that there's space for you. And that's in the West Party Room. On Wednesdays, of course, at 7 o'clock is our bingo and our 500. Thursday, the 21st, is our 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock coffee chats. If you're not able to be here this morning live, you can watch that on 991 or in the library. And then this Thursday is our 10 a.m. vision loss support group, and I have not heard otherwise, so we will plan on that, and that is always held in Marion Hall. So if you have been interested in going to that, know someone that you would like to learn more about vision loss, please go ahead and feel free to attend at 10 a.m. this Thursday in Marion Hall. Also this Thursday is our excursion, and our excursion is to it's our orchestra hall. It's a coffee concert. So Thomas Sundgaard conducts. The season leaps into the action of Strauss, heroic Don Juan, and the epic Alpine Symphony. So that is the orchestra coffee concert, and that leaves at 9:50 a.m. Let's see here. Let's see, Friday. I'll just move on to Friday. I've already jumped to Saturday in my notes here, but Friday we have our typical 1 p.m. coffee chats and bridge at 1 p.m. we have poker. 4 p.m. happy hour, and 7 p.m. is our movie, and this Friday the movie is Amadeus, a story of a remarkably talented young composer, of course Mozart, his music, and his wild, and it says wasteful life. Well, you know those geniuses. They live quite some interesting lives oftentimes. So that's a great movie. Just to remind you, this Saturday, normally we'd have an 8 a.m. men's breakfast. It is canceled this Saturday, so don't show up. So no men's breakfast. Women's breakfast is going on, and that leaves at 9:10 a.m. and it's at Jack's Cafe, which is a fabulous, renowned Northeast Minneapolis family restaurant, and it's been open, I think, since 1943. And I believe that is full. I'll keep on taking a peek and see if there's cancellations, but just a reminder, always, if you've signed up for excursions, keep looking at the list. People will cancel at the last moment, and I do my best to let you know, but it always is helpful if you're taking some initiative and being aware and conscious of what's going on the excursions. Yes, Norma.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question in regards to that.
Yes.
If there's a name crossed off, doesn't pertain to me because I always sign up. But if there is a name crossed off, can somebody put their name in that space instead of you bringing the names out?
So the question was, if there is a name crossed off on the excursion sheet, are you able to take the name or place your name on top of that? And that answer is no. I can do that, but that gets very messy. So what I do is automatically look at the number and follow that, and the next person in line, I will move up. And then as it gets closer to the excursion date, I try to type it out, and so that it's a little bit clearer. But if you start crossing things out, because that has happened in the past, it becomes very messy. So please do not do that. If you want to communicate your concern of wanting to move someone up, find me, we can work together on that, but I prefer for you not to put your name in there, and just let me take care of that to the best of my ability. Hope that answers that. Okay.
You said Saturday, no men's breakfast?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
You mean just the band is not going?
Correct. Oh yes, if you're absolutely able to do whatever you'd like to do on your own, but there is no van.
There will be men's breakfast.
John is saying there will be men's breakfast,
But no van.
but no van. There we go, clarification. We just get things done if we need to get things done around here, don't we? If you want to make it happen, you're going to make it happen. I want to go back to excursions. We are trying, scheduled a Chanhassen dinner theater, the Jersey Boys, for November. It's November 25th. So as you know, I've had this occupation for a little over a year, so I'm still kind of in this learning curve. And I'm weary of always purchasing 21 tickets for something that's quite spendy, because I don't want to take a large loss. And I do have to pay outright and follow their policy and procedures as to the payment plan. So having said that, so this is way in the future, November 25th, and it is going to be 8268, and that's you get to see this wonderful production of the Jersey Boys. In addition, you have a meal. So I think it's well priced. Chanhassen Dinner Theaters is reputable, excellent place to go. So I am going to keep you in the loop as to starting a sign-up sheet for that, and I'm going to have to be very conscious that if you are putting a commitment in of a check and you cross your name out the week before, you're going to have to find someone to take your space, because it gets really messy for me, and we all ultimately are wanting to keep these wonderful excursions going, and I would like to go to the Guthrie. There's so many things that I would like to do, but I have to also realize this is a business, and I don't want to take a big loss, because then we have to go back to less prestigious or fun things. So I hope that makes sense. But I will keep you in the loop in regards to that when we start the sign-up sheet.
What's the timing on that?
That is I believe it's a Sunday production.
Okay.
No, pardon me, 25th is a Saturday production. It's at 1 p.m.
Okay.
So it's an afternoon thing. It's not an evening thing. It's 1 p.m. I believe it's a Saturday at 1 p.m. on the 25th of November. So a good time, great time to go see a production. It's not late. So yes. And that is what I have. Besides, of course, Sunday you have the typical van runs to the places of worship. And that's all I have. Any questions? Okie doke, I'll hand it over to Jeff.
Good morning. Good morning. I have a beef with the summary on Mozart.
Yeah, me too.
That's a pretty high bar if we're going to say Mozart led a wasteful life. Mozart composed over 600 musical works, including 21 stage and operas, 15 masses, and over 50 symphonies. How would we define my life if his is a waste?
Terrible marriage.
Yes. Okay. Few things here. One, over the weekend we had a water problem. An apartment bathroom sink was left on and it flooded, and it went down to the apartments below, and damage, although we had damage, it wasn't awful, but it can get awful. And what I wanted to speak to a little bit today was things that we might do that could maybe avoid that or certainly lessen things like that. The first thing I would say is don't leave a sink running unattended. If I were to invite you all to my house, you would see above the kitchen faucet, there's a bathroom faucet, and that bathroom faucet overflowed and wrecked my textured ceiling, and so I've got a Jeff Evenson style patch on my ceiling in my living room. So make sure you know where all the shutoffs are. Make sure your drains are running clear. Even in theory, if you have your water running and the drain is clear, the drain should be able to keep up with the water coming through the faucet. So there you go. Also know where your toilet shutoff is. Does everyone know where their toilet shutoff is? Yep. And in a perfect world, if the toilet overflows, the flapper will come down and it'll stop running. That doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes if the flapper doesn't come down, it just runs and runs and runs and pours all over. I don't know the physics behind that, but I know that it happens because I've seen it happen a number of times. On that score, turn that thing, dial it shut if you can. Now I realize it's kind of in an odd spot and it's hard to get back there. If you have that problem, call the front desk as soon as you can and we can get up there and turn it off. Yeah, Evie.
I have water in carpeting in 2 closets and under a chest and at the head of my bed. Do you know when you'll be coming to dry
They should have addressed that yesterday, so anyone that has remnants of the flood from the other day, call the front desk, and we should be pulling that carpet up and at least airing it out underneath and all that type of thing. All right. The plot thickens on the booster pump in the, oh, Joanne.
Make sure that your faucet is off, because I've gone back and heard trickles of water, and I look over and it's very small, but make sure you push that handle down.
Make sure your water is off completely. Yep, that's usually not going to flood the place. If it does, we can deal with that, but that's just a waste of water. And it never ceases to amaze me how much water a little drip will waste in a 24-hour period. The East Building booster pump, that was scheduled to be replaced tomorrow. The foreman, or the project manager, I guess, came out yesterday to look at it, and he tells us that they're not going to be able to take the old one out, do the repiping, and put the new one in all in one day. So they're going to use Wednesday as a day to get everything set up, do some, I'm not even going to say what they're going to do because I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to say what they're going to do because it's top secret. And none of you can know that. Yeah?
Is the water going to be shut off?
The water will not be shut off tomorrow, but the water will be shut off Thursday in the East Building. And here's what my simple mind tells me on that. We were all prepared to say, okay, we'll shut the water off on Wednesday for the plumbing company. So they come out and they say, oh, we're going to stage it on Wednesday and turn the water off on Thursday. We'll turn the water off at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, whenever. Excuse me. To me, that's unfair. They're holding all the cards. They're not taking anything about us to interest. We've got food service to worry about. We've got a beauty shop that is important to a lot of people. I wanted to, if I had to do it all over again, and we've already committed to this, but okay, you stage on Wednesday. Thursday, you can shut the water off at 1 o'clock or noon. It's just not fair that we do all the bending, as my mom would say. Jeff, you always want me to bend. You got to bend a little bit yourself. So, sorry about that. As it sits, Thursday, no water, East Building.
And what about the rest of the
Okay, the brickwork out here, they're finished with replacing the brick, all that stuff. They're starting to tear down, as you can see. They're going to acid wash the walls, and I didn't see, they were going to pour some more aggregate where it's kind of chipped away on the corners. Has that been done, or is that going to get done today? I don't know, but there's a lot more tuck pointing to do. We got 3 bids, one for this area, one for the stuff on the East Building, and one for the things on the West Building, and we're going to string that out over a 3-year period just to save on cash a little bit. There's always a use for cash, and we're going to do that over a 3-year period. And a few people have pointed out that there are some spots yet that are bad here. We'll squeeze those in next year. I wish I would have, I was aware of it. And I wish I would have known it wasn't included on this bid and that I could have had it included on this bid, but I shouldn't beat myself up because you folks will beat me up for it. That's just the way it is. Linda Cook is taking care of working with the decorators and getting the, I think the #1 thing we have to do now is finish the molding throughout. And I know that there's a boatload of tables and lamps and stuff that are put together in the marketing office that are going to be distributed maybe this week. I'm not sure. Oh, one other thing on the project out here, and this is for Dean and John and Cliff. The porta potty will be gone today. So if you want to get one last hurrah in there, I'd say do it before 1. I don't know how that fits with your biological schedule, but that's just how it's going to work. Yeah.
I think you might want to add a couple of porta potties for when they shut the water off.
Not bad. Maybe we want to add a couple porta potties for when they shut the water off.
Yeah, you can try to get in there on Thursday and we'll tell you where to go.
I like to repeat what people say, but unfortunately I'm not going to repeat what John said. And he's a minister's son, I know that, so that doesn't stop him. Levon.
Getting back to the carpet, the thresholds.
Yep. Yes. And when they installed the hallway carpet, we're not uniform with under the door threshold. Okay? And when they installed the new carpet, they were uniform. And that has left some oddball stuff underneath some people's doors. I know that in some of the apartments, we took away a threshold and that was glued down to the floor. And there's little dabs of glue. I know they're going to be addressed. I don't know how they're going to be addressed, Levon. But thank you. We'll get all that. There's a number of door extenders to be done. We're started to put vinyl flooring up to the apartment door in place of carpet. That's really, really an improvement as I see it. But there's some modifications that need to be done to the doors and all that type of thing that are a little slow in happening. But I'll talk to Greg today and hopefully we'll see some improvements on that this week. All right. And today is going to be 80. Enjoy yourselves. The heat is turned on in the building. So now for the next, and the geese just flew overhead. Does someone tell them they're going the wrong way? They're going north. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the heat. The heat and the air conditioning are going to be on both for the next couple months. What I would say, in the west building, there's no problem. You either have heat or you have air conditioning. There's that switch on your thermostat that moves you to and fro. In the east, it's possible, if your apartment gets hot, you turn the air conditioner on to cool it off, but your thermostat, if your thermostat is set at 75, and you say, oh, it's too warm in here, you turn the air conditioning on, your air conditioner and your heat are fighting each other. And there's a good chance, you know, when a warm front meets a cold front, there's a good chance you're going to have a tornado in your apartment.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Hi, I would like to say, I think we should give a big hip hip hooray because 991 is working. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Thank you. Yes, 991 is working.
Yeah.
In the west building.
Not the east building.
Well, we have one wet blanket in the crowd. Is it not working in the east?
Not working working.
Okay. Well, we're hoping that Memorial Day 2024 will have 991 restored in the East Building. As much as I 991 could have been repaired quicker, but also there were some circumstances that I'll apologize for that, but there are some things that were beyond our control that that's just the world isn't meant to run smoothly all the time. There are just things that happen and we have to deal with them. So, does anyone have anything else they want to add? Norma.
I brought Jeff a little plastic packet that I picked up at the police department to mark our catalytic converters. I went through 3 places yesterday, including the car dealership, that said that they don't do it. So I know a couple people have had it done by their car dealership. It sounds like a great idea, but I don't know. So.
Norma was at City Hall last week and they were distributing a little kit that somehow deterred people from stealing your catalytic converter. It marked it in some way.
We have stickers for the window.
Stickers for the window.
Yes.
All good stuff. My gut tells me they won't work. They'll keep the honest people away. Honest people aren't going to steal your catalytic converter anyway.
My dealership did it when I had an oil change because the catalytic converter has to be cool.
Okay.
Plus, I was paying them some money. You just go in and ask them to do it, they won't do it. But when you get an oil change, that's.
If you get your oil change at the dealer,
Right.
where it sits a while before they bring it in, then they'll do it. You're all smart people. You can figure out how to get it done. What I would say is since we started closing that silly gate, we haven't had a catalytic converter theft. Knock on wood. I'm not saying that's what did it, but cause and effect can be confusing sometimes. But we're going to say that was such a great idea to lock that gate and open that gate that it solved our catalytic converter problem. Any other questions? That's not the first time I've broken my arm patting myself on the back. All right, birthdays. Yesterday we celebrated a birthday that's going to be tomorrow. What's the date today? 19th?
Yeah.
All right. On Thursday, Del Ebert will be 101. I brought up something about Del yesterday that many people didn't know. She's lived here over 20% of her life. Does everyone know that she moved away from Ridge Point for 1 year? That little traitor. When Westridge got built down there, across from Oak Knoll Church, she moved there for a year. And then she came back. On her knees, but we took her. Well, with all the rent she's paid, she should have some ownership in it. Just like my dad used to say, I should have stock, or I should have part ownership in Kraft macaroni and cheese. Because our family ate so damn much Kraft macaroni and cheese. When we were hungry, my mom would make Kraft macaroni and cheese. Sylvia.
Jill tells the story that she watched the West Building being built.
Dell watched the West Building being built.
From the East Building.
From the East Building, yes. And there was a big hole where we're standing right now. Mary Skamsoivog, her birthday is 9/21, along with Dell. She is Scandinavian. She is Norwegian. That's not a... We talked about the derivation of her name last week. I can't remember what I was saying. Imagine that. But she is Norwegian. Mike Mudry, he's got his back to me, but his birthday is Friday. That's a bad combination. Mike, birthday, Friday. Rhoda Tolles shares Mike's birthday, and Sue Dillahunt. Your birthday is Sunday. That's a bad combination too. You've got to behave yourself on Sunday. You can't go oh, you're not going to behave yourself? Good for you, Susan. All right, and I think that's it. Let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Have a good week, everybody.